What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And holy crap, Chiefs Kingdom, did you guys ever think we'd see the day? Kareem Hunt, former Kansas City Chiefs star running back, is coming back to Kansas City on Tuesday for a visit. That's per Adam Schefter. Hunt could help fill the Chiefs running back void that was left by Isiah Pacheco as he heads to IR for at least 6 to 8 weeks, given his fractured fibula that he sustained late against the Cincinnati Bengals. I kid you not, guys, prior to seeing this news pop up on my timeline, I was in the middle of coming up with a video about free agent running backs that the Kansas City Chiefs could potentially look at, or some trade candidates that they could potentially look at to try and take the spot of Isiah Pacheco, as he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. And I honestly think that NFL reporters are being generous with the 6 to 8 week timeline. I think this is going to be closer to a season-ending injury for Isiah Pacheco, at least for the regular season. I definitely think he'll be back around postseason time, but the Chiefs are going to be without Pacheco for a while. I mean, a broken leg for a running back is something that you got to be careful with. So it definitely made a ton of sense for the Kansas City Chiefs to bring in another running back, because if you look at the running back room currently, it's Carson Steele, who's a rookie. A lot of us like Carson Steele, right? But you definitely don't see him being able to take over the starting running back role at this point in his career. And then you have Samaje Perine, who's a nice third down back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, but he's not a guy that can run for a bunch of yards. Hasn't really ever been that. And then, of course, you have CEH on the non-football injury list. We have no idea when he's going to be back, if he's going to be back this year. And quite honestly, even if he was going to be back, he's not a guy that I trust. I think you need more than that. CEH, we've seen what he can do as a starting running back, and that's probably what he would be if he returned to the active roster, and he's underwhelming at best, and that's just kind of what CEH is. He's probably serviceable as a running back 3, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for someone to fill in for Isiah Pacheco, your starting running back. But when you look down the list of free agent running backs currently available, there wasn't much, but there was one name that stood out. And it was Kareem Hunt, as a guy who's one of the younger free agent running backs still left out there. We know that he's one of the healthier free agent running backs still out there. He's still only 29 years old. You know, he's not even 30 years old yet. And he knows the system. He was productive in KC before. I mean, it made all the sense in the world besides one thing. The fact that he was cut from the Kansas City Chiefs in 2018, and a lot of people thought that bridge was burnt. But if you guys remember, Brett Veach clarified the Kareem Hunt situation a few years ago after he was cut, and he said that he doesn't speak in absolutes, and there's always scenarios down the line, and guys have done everything asked to do through the league. And he emphasized that Kareem Hunt needed to focus on his own self-improvement, but he never ruled out an eventual Kareem Hunt return. And there's been a couple times in the past where Kareem Hunt was a free agent and the Kansas City Chiefs could have added running back depth, and fans always dreamt about maybe bringing him back into the fold and seeing what he can do now with this Chiefs team and this Chiefs offensive line. Hell, even I wrote an article for Arrowhead Addict last year saying that it might be time for a Kareem Hunt reunion, and enough time has passed by that the Chiefs could realistically make it happen. And almost a year later, they're bringing him back for a visit. And I'll tell you this right now, guys, I don't think you bring Kareem Hunt back in for a visit with the intention of not signing him. I'd be very surprised if this doesn't end in Kareem Hunt signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. To even consider this, to even have him fly into KC for a visit, it has to be pretty serious, I would think. But a lot of people, including myself, last night after we saw that Isiah Pacheco got hurt and the updates didn't sound too good, a lot of us started talking about Kareem Hunt like, it kind of makes sense right now. I mean, the stars have just kind of aligned for a Kareem Hunt return to Kansas City, and you just kind of look at what's out there and what's available versus what the Chiefs have, and Kareem Hunt makes a lot of sense. Of course, Kareem Hunt is not the guy that he was 5 or 6 years ago. This is really similar to my justification for bringing Juju Smith-Schuster back. And I said when we did that he's not the same guy that he was even 2 years ago, but he knows the system, comfortable option. He gives you just enough that you're okay with him being out there. And there's a lot of value in having a guy like that. Kareem Hunt last year, even for the Cleveland Browns, 2023, he joined the Browns after just a few games into the season when Nick Chubb had his season-ending ACL injury or knee injury. Kareem Hunt came back and he had 135 attempts for 411 yards, which is only 3 yards per carry. Not great, but he had 9 touchdowns for the Cleveland Browns in 2023. That's a lot of red zone production. And then if you look at what he did the year before, he had over 460 yards and averaged 4 yards per carry almost with 3 touchdowns. And I think that's a lot closer to the player that he still is, because you have to consider that in 2023, he joined the Browns in the middle of the season with no training camp, no preseason, and he still did a pretty decent job filling in. Athletically, Kareem Hunt has probably taken a step back. He's probably not as fast as he used to be, and he was never that fast to begin with, which is why it's okay. Because Kareem Hunt's style is he's going to run through you. He may not run past you. He doesn't have the best speed in the world. He always had just enough, but he's someone that's looking to run through you. I think he's really good in between the tackles. He's got those big, strong legs. That hasn't changed. And he'd be coming to Kansas City to play behind the best offensive line he's ever played with. And it's a very good interior 3 still. And I just think if you give him that opportunity, he's going to fill in very nicely. If you can get 400 yards and a few touchdowns from Kareem Hunt, you'll absolutely take that with Pacheco being out. And then once Pacheco comes back, Kareem Hunt is your running back too. That's a perfect scenario to be in because he was really effective in being the number 2 back to Nick Chubb in Cleveland. Right? That's a perfect role for him. And what I also really like about Kareem Hunt, similar to Samaje Perine, really good receiving back. Like, Kareem Hunt would probably be the best receiving back the Chiefs have had since Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was the best receiving running back that the Kansas City Chiefs have had in a long time. And that 2018 offense with Kareem Hunt was really good. When Kareem Hunt was a rookie, he was super dangerous in the passing game. The New England Patriots had no idea how to stop Kareem Hunt every single time we played against them. Again, want to temper expectations because this isn't the same Kareem Hunt, but he can still do some things, guys. He can absolutely still do some things. He's not even 30 years old yet. A lot of people are going to talk about him like he's washed. And look, he's taken a step back. That I can say for certain. But I just think he did an admirable job filling in for the Cleveland Browns last year without having a preseason or a training camp. And he was more of a number 1 there after Nick Chubb got hurt when ideally he's best suited as a number 2. Of course, he'd be coming here to fill in for the number 1, Isiah Pacheco. But that's only for a little bit until you can get Pacheco back from IR. Kareem Hunt can definitely fill in as a starter in this league. I fully believe that. I think you'd most definitely rather have Kareem Hunt out there than rookie Carson Steele or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And you're going to see a bunch of people, probably even on this video, they're going to go down in the comments and they're going to say something like Kareem Hunt just isn't that good anymore, or he only averaged 3 yards per carry last year for the Cleveland Browns. And here's what I'll say to that. Yeah, I get it. He's taking a step back. I'm not going to argue with you about that. But talking about Kareem Hunt, what he was versus what he is now, that conversation is a little exhausting to me given the constant justification for a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be on this roster, who only averaged 3.2 yards per carry last year and played in a much better situation than Kareem Hunt did. And I'm going to hammer this home one more time. This team had J.K. Dobbins in the building as a free agent over the offseason. They decided not to sign him. They signed CEH instead. CEH ended up getting more money than J.K. Dobbins, and I think J.K. Dobbins would have been awesome here. J.K. Dobbins, I think, wanted to be here. People will say, oh, well, maybe he wanted a starting role with the Los Angeles Chargers and the Chiefs couldn't offer him that, but I think J.K. Dobbins, when healthy, is better than Pacheco. And, I mean, it's not like prior to coming to Kansas City, J.K. Dobbins didn't already know that Isiah Pacheco was here. So I don't think that's the reason for him not signing here as opposed to Los Angeles. But 2 weeks through the NFL season, CEH is on the shelf while J.K. Dobbins leads the NFL in rushing. That was a big mistake by Veach. That was a big whiff. If you had signed J.K. Dobbins, we wouldn't even be discussing Kareem Hunt right now, which maybe is okay because I'm extremely happy to see that Kareem Hunt is very likely coming back to the Kansas City Chiefs. I think this is a reunion that's long overdue. I think it is worth it to see what Kareem Hunt can do with the second stint with the Kansas City Chiefs because he's a guy that really wanted to be here. I mean, really wanted to be here. He loved KC. If you guys remember, whenever he got cut, there was a story about how he cried when he learned he was being cut from the Kansas City Chiefs. He begged Andy Reid, Brett Veach, and John Dorsey to be able to remain here, and they said no. But again, they left the door open for a potential return down the line. There was also an incident in Cleveland as well a few years ago where Kareem Hunt got pulled over by a police officer, and he cried to the police officer about how he should be playing in a Super Bowl because the Kansas City Chiefs were in the Super Bowl that year, and Kareem Hunt was devastated by that because he wanted to be a part of the Kansas City Chiefs organization. He wanted to be a part of a Super Bowl winning culture. And there's something with Kareem Hunt, if you're bringing back, that you're not going to get with any other running back that you could bring in, and it's someone that is going to pour their absolute heart and soul into this organization to make things right after what happened the first time. My guy Josh Chavis on Twitter summed it up perfectly. He says, say what you want, but with the Chiefs bringing Kareem Hunt in for a visit, that dude would absolutely pour his soul into making things right in KC after what happened a few years ago. I think putting Kareem Hunt back in the Kansas City Chiefs offense, back with Andy Reid, back with Patrick Mahomes, who he has great chemistry with, that's going to give him the best chance to succeed. You know that Andy Reid is going to get the absolute most out of him, which I think is going to give us a pretty decent version of Kareem Hunt. I think at worst, Kareem Hunt can be a younger and better version of what Jerick McKinnon has been for Kansas City the past couple of years. He's going to help you in the red zone with the red zone offense. He's going to score a lot of touchdowns, at least a handful of them. He's going to be solid running the rock. He's going to be very solid in pass protection. And I mean, out of all the free agent running backs that are available, once again, that's about all you can ask for, man. A guy that can do all those things. There's just not too many of those out there. And I think this is a pairing, a reunion, that absolutely had to happen, and it was long overdue. Kareem Hunt has an opportunity, a chance to redeem himself, and I think he's going to make the most of it. And the Kansas City Chiefs need him. So, perfect pairing in that regard. The vibes are immaculate with this one. Kareem Hunt, most likely returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you guys believe that I'm saying that? I am actually saying that in the year of 2024. I think it's perfect. I think this is going to be quite the redemption story. All parties involved are going to be 100% motivated to make this thing successful. I love it. I love the possibility of Kareem Hunt coming back. I've wanted it to happen for a couple of years. I thought last year it should have happened. But better late than never, right? Better late than never to see what can happen with Kareem Hunt. Maybe they can win a Super Bowl with him, and then you don't have that what-if story. You know, you just Kareem Hunt can ride off into the sunset with a Super Bowl victory. Wouldn't that be awesome? So, yeah, guys, that's the latest on the Kansas City Chiefs running back front. Isiah Pacheco is heading to IR for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Chiefs are looking for running back help, and Kareem Hunt seems to be the guy. So let me know down in the comments below what you think of Kareem Hunt potentially returning to the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this, and I will see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!